My name is Stephen Vantassel. I am a tutor at King's Evangelical Divinity School. If you're interested in doing either undergrad education or graduate education in the area of biblical studies, and particularly the nexus of the relationship of Christianity and Israel and the Jews, as well as some political issues, you may want to check out our school. We are accredited by the University of Chester. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about sometimes some literature. I think that students should be reading books beyond what is required for their coursework, because you always want to keep the stream flowing, as one person put it. And I had a particular book that, for those of you that may be new to biblical studies and don't have maybe a strong grasp of some biblical issues and interpretation issues, that what's an easy way to sort of introduce yourself to some of those issues. And I have a book here by Michael S. Heisner. It's called The 60-Minute Scholar, the 60-Second Scholar. I'll get that out right. Dr. Heisner got his PhD from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and his work, I believe, was in the Hebrew Bible, and he's done some work in the area of the Divine Council, where the role of other angelic type beings that would be part of his divine council. You can see part of that in terms of Daniel, when different spiritual entities had a dominion over various countries, but God chose Israel to have direct control over that. But you can read his literature and just do a Google search on Michael S. Heisner, and you will certainly find that. But the 60-Second Scholar is what I want to talk about here. It's a kind of a clever little book. He used to be a Bible school instructor, and then later in his life he went over to Logos Bible Software. I think it's called by a different name now, but I always remember it as Logos Bible Software Corporation, but they've changed their name. So that's the organization that's produced Logos Software, which I would certainly encourage. Maybe we can talk about that in a future podcast. But the 60-Second Scholar is organized in 2-page articles. You can see that here. Just only takes 2 pages, and he talks about 100 different topics, and he organizes it on the basis of genre in Scripture. So he starts off right straight away what the Bible should be, and then moves into let the books of Moses be, let the Torah, or what he calls the Torah, what that should be, and then he moves into the historical books. And then let the prophetic books what they are, let the wisdom books be what they are, let the gospels be what they are. You got to get the idea. And he basically has just these individual chapters that are only 2 pages max, that highlights some things that help reorient yourself toward a better understanding of Scripture. And his concern is, the overriding dominating theme of the book is how oftentimes Bible students, and even unfortunately pastors as well, sometimes overthink the biblical passage and make the Bible say more than what it was intended to say. And one of the quotes he uses in here is, the Bible was written for us, but the Bible was not written to us. And so he's trying to reacquaint us with the importance of understanding the Scripture as it was originally intended to be spoken and understood. And so we need to be sure that we understand that as foundational. Then, once we understand what the Bible meant, then we can move to what the Bible means for us today. Because again, the Bible was written for us, but it wasn't written to us, and we need to understand the historical, cultural background, grammatical, historical exegesis. That's what we teach at certainly King's Evangelical Divinity School. We want you to understand that, and this is a clever little book to help give you some bite-sized chunks to reorient your attention into it. I've read it and I enjoyed it, and I have many, many years of Bible education, but I think if you have little, this is a great book for you to grab. If you have a lot, it may be a clever way for you to help understand how you can explain things, and maybe even readjust some of your own misunderstandings of Scripture, and by someone who really takes proper exegesis seriously, and it can be a challenge for you. I would highly recommend this book. You can pick it up at Amazon. You can pick it up at certainly other locations, probably directly from his own website as well. It's published by CAM Publishing, C-A-M Publishing. And again, The 62nd Scholar by Michael S. Heisner is a great book, and I would strongly recommend it for you, just to sort of give you some light reading, perhaps before you go to sleep, or if you're just looking for something to fill some time. It's always a good idea to carry a book with you when you're around, because sometimes you're waiting for things, whether it be at the doctor's office, dentist office, or getting your car repaired. It's nice to have something to read. You read quickly, and always keep your mind fresh and redeeming the time, as they say. I'm Stephen Vantassel. I am an instructor, or they say as a tutor, at King's Evangelical Divinity School. Thanks for watching. God bless.